If everything follows the course being planned behind the scenes, the electric car market will experience a veritable earthquake starting in October 2025. That's precisely when the $7,500 tax credit for new electric vehicles and the $4,000 for used ones are set to disappear completely, and that changes everything. The incentives that previously helped reduce the final price of a Tesla or any other EV will be gone, which should curb buyers' appetite for more expensive models and force a complete reorganization of automakers' strategies. Tesla, never one to take things lightly, is reportedly preparing to respond to this new scenario with a move that, at first glance, may seem counterintuitive, postponing the official launch of the highly anticipated Model 2. Yes, the very car that promises to be the cheapest in the company's entire lineup. The idea behind this would be simple but brilliant: to prevent consumers from ignoring the more expensive models, still benefiting from credit, in favor of a car that will come with an aggressive price tag even without any incentives. The reasoning here would be, why launch a cheap car while premium models are still discounted? This kind of decision shows how Tesla is playing a chess game many don't even know exists. While the public is focused on leaked photos, rumors, and tests in Fremont, the company is reportedly observing the economic and political movements with surgical precision. After all, the end of incentives will directly impact how consumers perceive value. And if the Model 2 were launched now, however affordable it may be, it could hurt the sales figures of the Model Y, Model 3, and even the Cybertruck, which still benefit from the credits. Another possible interpretation is that Tesla wants to enter the low-cost segment with a bang at the right time. By waiting for subsidies to end, it could launch the Model 2 as the perfect answer to a market suddenly bereft of incentives and desperate for an affordable EV. The strategy would be not only commercially impactful, but also positioning. The Model 2 won't just be cheap, it will be necessary. And this changes consumer perception. There's also speculation that this extra time would be used to further refine the vehicle's details. After all, we're talking about a new model that should introduce different technologies, a new production line, and perhaps even a new level of cost efficiency. Rushing could compromise finish, reliability, or range, three areas where Tesla can't afford to make mistakes, especially when trying to attract an audience that's never owned an electric car. This delay, then, would be more of a strategic step than a delay per se. While the public wonders why the car hasn't been officially announced yet, the answer may lie in this masterstroke. By keeping the Model 2 a secret, Tesla continues to sell its current models at higher margins. And let's face it, with factories running at capacity and deliveries still backlogged, there's no real urgency to launch an entry-level car right now. On the contrary, the mystery only heightens the desire, and that's pure marketing. The first thing that strikes you when you see the Model 2 prototypes undergoing testing is their size. It will be noticeably more compact than the Model Y, around 6 inches shorter. This may seem small on paper, but in the real world, this completely changes the way you drive, park, and even see the car. The Model 2 will have that urban feel, almost like a futuristic hatchback, tailor-made for big city traffic. And even though it's smaller, it won't lose that bold, innovative feel that has become Tesla's trademark. This choice of a compact design will not only be aesthetically pleasing, but also functional. A smaller car consumes less energy, requires less material to produce, and of course costs less for the end consumer. It's a smart engineering and marketing strategy. And the curious detail is that, even with its more compact dimensions, the Model 2 will maintain a striking visual presence. Smooth lines, refined aerodynamics, and a shortened rear end give it the feel of an agile, almost sporty car, even though it's designed for everyday use. Another interesting point is the roof. While Tesla's more expensive models boast huge glass panels stretching from the windshield to the trunk, the Model 2 will go a different way. No more panoramic glass. Instead, a solid metal roof, cheaper, stronger, and more efficient at keeping the interior cool. This change shows how Tesla is willing to sacrifice certain luxuries for affordability. And honestly, for the target audience, this makes much more sense. The fastback profile, the style with the roof that slopes gently toward the rear, will be another striking feature. It will give the Model 2 an aerodynamic silhouette, which helps both energy consumption and aesthetics. Rather than pursuing a traditional look, Tesla will opt for a bold, straightforward design. It's almost as if to say, this isn't a smaller version of the Model Y, it's a completely new proposition. And indeed it will be. From the roof to the bumper, everything will be redesigned with a radical cost-benefit approach. This is where the comparison with the Cybertruck begins to make sense. Not because the Model 2 will be a stainless steel mini-truck, of course, but because it will follow the same logic of visual simplification. No excess, no frills. The lines will be objective, the finishes will be designed for durability, and each piece will appear to be part of a functional puzzle. This kind of minimalist philosophy is in Tesla's DNA, but in the Model 2, it will be taken to another level. And even with this simplicity, the car will turn heads on the streets. After all, this is a Tesla. The logo on the front, the likely redesigned headlights, and a bold rear end will ensure the Model 2 is recognizable from a distance. In fact, some say it could debut a new set of lights, perhaps inspired by the continuous LED bars we saw on the Cybertruck. If this is confirmed, the nighttime look will be simply mesmerizing, and will certainly generate plenty of Instagram photos. The secret behind this bold move may lie precisely in the new platform that the Model 2 will debut. Forget the traditional structure with dozens of hand-welded parts. What Tesla is preparing is something completely different, the so-called Unboxed architecture. The name alone suggests a revolution is coming. Instead of assembling the car in traditional stages, this approach will allow entire vehicle parts to be pre-assembled and then fitted together like a giant puzzle. This will drastically reduce assembly time, production costs, and even factory space. This unboxed architecture will also feature the famous mega castings, giant pieces of cast aluminum that replace several smaller parts. Tesla already uses this in the Model Y, but in the Model 2, the idea goes even further. By joining the front, center, and rear of the car into giant interlocking blocks, Tesla will eliminate hundreds of welds, cables, and joints. This not only speeds up the production line, but also improves the vehicle's structural rigidity. And when a car is more rigid, it's safer and more comfortable to drive. Another interesting detail is that this structure will allow the use of Tesla's famous structural battery pack, the one that serves as both the car's floor and its frame. This reduces weight, improves mass distribution, and makes the car more efficient. Furthermore, by integrating the battery pack into the vehicle's body, the need for additional supports is eliminated, freeing up interior space and streamlining everything. All of this fits perfectly with the Model 2's vision: low cost, high efficiency, and above-average performance. What's more, this new platform is completely incompatible with current models like the Model Y. You can't simply adapt such a structure to an existing car. This proves that the Model 2 won't be a simplified version of another model, but rather a 100% new project. It's being designed from scratch with this philosophy in mind. No recycling of what's already been done. It's a new production line, a new way of thinking, and most likely, a new era for Tesla's affordable cars. In fact, this strategy also helps Tesla become even more efficient from a logistical standpoint. With fewer different parts to store and assemble, production becomes more fluid, faster, and less prone to errors. And since we're talking about a car that will be produced on a global scale, this makes all the difference. Imagine manufacturing millions of units per year in different factories with different rules and suppliers. Having a simplified and standardized platform is practically a superpower in this scenario. The curious thing is that this change should also affect the car's aesthetics, albeit subtly. For example, one of the visual hallmarks of this unboxed platform is a horizontal line under the doors, visible in prototypes already spotted. This type of detail doesn't appear on older models and exists only because of the new connection between the car's parts. It's as if the car's body itself is shouting, "I am different." And it's no exaggeration to say that this type of detail could become a status symbol for EV connoisseurs. Taking a closer look at the Model 2's expected performance, it's clear that Tesla isn't just planning a budget car, but an electric car with the soul of an urban rocket. Even weighing less than 1,600 kg, the model will feature a 180 kg rear motor, enough for a 0-100 km/h, 0-62 mph sprint in about 6.2 seconds. And if anyone thinks that's still not enough, there are rumors that a version with an additional front motor could push that time to under 4.5 seconds. That's sports car performance in a budget car, which is provocative to say the least. Top speed will also be smart. Don't expect absurd numbers just to inflate the spec sheet. The Model 2 will be limited to 120 mph, around 193 km/h. This is not only more than enough for any highway in the world, but also helps preserve range and tire life. After all, no one needs to drive at 250 km/h to get to work or pick up the kids from school. And that's where the real advantage comes in. Efficiency in the real world, not on paper. With a lithium iron phosphate, LFP battery, the Model 2 will combine low cost, high durability, and good range. Estimated figures are encouraging, around 300 miles or 482 kilometers on a single charge. And best of all, this range won't depend on miracles. The secret lies in the combination of a lightweight car, sharp aerodynamics, and optimized fuel consumption. At 70 miles per hour, the Model 2 should consume just 11 kW, which is impressive. For city drivers, efficiency could reach 4 miles per kilowatt, a figure few can achieve. And when it comes to charging, the Model 2 will also shine. The fourth-generation superchargers will allow recharges from 10% to 80% in about 18 minutes. A quick 10-minute stop will add over 280 kilometers of range. This is a game changer for those worried about running out of battery. And even at home with a wall connector, charging will be simple. 30 kilometers of range per hour. A night's sleep will be enough to fill the tank. What makes all this even more interesting is that Tesla will achieve this performance without resorting to expensive components. Standard tires, conventional steel springs, and smaller wheels will be used precisely to reduce costs and facilitate maintenance. The philosophy here is clear: deliver high performance with minimal complexity. And frankly, this is the kind of design intelligence that defines the success of an affordable car. If there's one thing Tesla loves to do, it's surprise with technology, and the Model 2 won't be left out of this tradition. The big bet is on integrating artificial intelligence directly into the car through Grok, the new voice assistant created by xAI, Elon Musk's company. This AI won't limit itself to telling the weather forecast or changing the song with commands. The idea is much more ambitious, transforming Grok into a natural conversational interface between the driver and the vehicle. A sort of digital co-pilot with personality and quick responses, always ready to interpret wishes and commands. The system is already showing signs of being a big deal. Early software code found in test vehicles revealed icons, QR codes, and specific settings for Grok, including voice modes like Aura, Rex, and Gork, as well as filters for sensitive content and even child-friendly options. It seems Tesla is thinking of the car as a technological living space, not just a means of transportation. And, let's face it, it's even strange to imagine an entry-level car featuring such advanced AI, but that's precisely the Model 2's charm. And Grok could go far beyond simply responding to commands. Over time, it should integrate with the car's autonomous driving system, enabling seamless interaction between human and machine. Imagine saying, "Avoid the toll," or "Take me the most scenic route," and the car adjusting its route in real time, as if it were actually talking to you. This may sound futuristic, but it's already in the works. And considering Tesla's track record, it's not a stretch to believe it will happen. All of this will be possible thanks to the new Hardware 5, or AI 5, which Tesla is expected to debut with the Model 2. This next-generation chip will have 10 times more neural processing power than the current hardware, HW4, allowing the car to analyze the environment, cameras, and driving decisions with impressive speed. It's promised to work with 8 cameras, including a new feature: thermal sensors and tri-band radar discreetly embedded in the roof's edge. A solution already spotted in prototypes on the road. This technical advancement will also directly affect how the car learns from the world. Tesla plans to compress all data captured during drives and send it to the Dojo supercomputer overnight. There, the information will be processed, refined, and sent back to the car in the form of invisible updates, literally making the vehicle smarter with each passing day. It's as if the car were going to school every night and coming back smarter the next day. While the Model 2 is designed to be compact and affordable, that doesn't mean sacrificing comfort or safety. Quite the opposite. Tesla will utilize every inch of its interior design to deliver a surprisingly spacious cabin, with creative and practical solutions. One of the highlights will be the cargo space. Even though it's smaller than the Model Y, the Model 2 will offer up to 1,400 liters of total capacity. That's enough space to carry weekly groceries, suitcases, or even 2 folded bicycles, without the driver having to become a contortionist to fit it all in. This space-saving approach will only be possible thanks to the clever use of the structural battery and the mega molds of the Unboxed architecture. Because the battery will be part of the car's floor, the floor will be completely flat. freeing up more usable space inside the cabin. And with the folding rear seats, the Model 2 transforms into a sort of minivan. A small car on the outside, but surprisingly functional on the inside, something that will appeal to both urban drivers and small families seeking versatility. But space is nothing if comfort is neglected, and this is something Tesla seems to have taken very seriously. The rear seats, for example, will have a slight upward angle, theater style, which improves visibility for those in the back, even though the car is lower. This not only makes trips more pleasant, but also avoids that claustrophobic feeling that some compact cars tend to generate. It's details like these that transform an ordinary experience into something special, even in an entry-level model. The dashboard's star attraction will be the aforementioned 12-inch OLED display, but the surrounding finish promises to be clean, elegant, and minimalist, following Tesla's standard. No fuss, no scattered buttons. Everything will be controlled by touch or voice, including the air conditioning, sound system, and even the rear-view mirrors. And with native 5G connectivity, voice commands will work even outside the garage, on the road, or in more remote areas, as long as there's a signal. And of course, safety will be a priority. The Model 2 will come equipped with 8 airbags, including a central airbag between the 2 front seats, a solution specifically designed for side collisions. But what really stands out is the emergency steering system, which can automatically intervene in imminent danger situations at speeds of up to 140 km/h, 87 mph. This places the model at a level of active safety that few cars in the same price range can match. All of this will only make sense if the Model 2 actually hits the streets, and to that end, Tesla already appears to have outlined a global production plan. The strategy goes far beyond simply putting the car on an assembly line and starting production. The plan is to organize a staggered launch, with each market entering the scene at the right time, in coordination with local regulations and the production capacity of each gigafactory. It's a strategic and logistical move that appears to have been designed with a ruler, compass, and a good understanding of geopolitics. In the United States, production is expected to begin at the Texas Gigafactory in late 2025, with the first deliveries scheduled for April 2026. This window is curiously close to the end of federal tax credits, which raises even more suspicions that Tesla is timing each step. Launching the Model 2 soon after the incentives end would allow the brand to fill the void left by other competitors and further position its new model as the true savior of electric mobility for the masses. Europe is also in the plans, with the Berlin factory coming online soon after. Europe is notoriously demanding when it comes to emissions, safety, and energy efficiency, so adapting the Model 2 to these requirements demonstrates Tesla's seriousness about the project's success. Local manufacturing on European soil will also help avoid import duties and speed up vehicle delivery to customers. Furthermore, being in Europe means competing directly with giants like Renault, Volkswagen, and Stellantis, and Tesla appears ready for it. In China, developments are even more discreet, but no less significant. The Shanghai Gigafactory, which has already proven itself to be one of the most productive in the world, could also begin manufacturing the Model 2 by the end of 2025. This move is especially important because China represents the largest electric vehicle market on the planet. If the Model 2 manages to capture a share of the Chinese public, it could become a sales phenomenon in the blink of an eye. And with local production, the final cost to the consumer tends to fall even further. A surprising detail is that even India is on the radar. Despite regulatory and structural challenges, the country is opening up to global automakers, and Tesla has already taken the first steps toward establishing a future there. Entering India may not happen immediately, but everything indicates that the company is cautiously preparing the groundwork. It would be a bold expansion, but perfectly compatible with the Model 2's vision. A truly global electric car, adapted to the realities of each region.